How can I double my productivity? In today's video, we would be introducing Prohacks, which is a software solution that we have created, a tool that we have created that can help everyone to double their productivity. So we have seen all the previous videos where we discussed about what is productivity and how productivity can be increased, and we discussed about motivation and energy and whether we can measure productivity, or and we also introduced the concept of zeal. Zeal is not a software term or a technical term. It's basically motivation or an enthusiasm term. And what we have attempted to do with this tool called Prohacks is we have tried to calculate the person's zeal and help each person to track the movement of their zeal, the growth of their zeal, and see a direct correlation of how their productivity in their work is increasing. So we have understood that productivity is nothing but motivation and energy, and motivation and energy together can be called as zeal. What we have done is in this Prohacks, we have introduced 40, close to 40 productivity hacks. We call them as productivity hacks, and that is how we have this word called Prohacks, which basically each productivity hack creates zeal. So various hacks create zeal to different levels. For example, we can take two concepts like if we want to increase our motivation and energy, we can think of just two hacks for now so that I can explain this concept to you. Simple thing as drinking relevant amount of water every day. What happens is we all know that most of our body is made up of water. More than 70% of our body is made up of water. And if we drink enough water consistently, our body receives the enough lubrication and enough energy and the kind of um, whatever essentials that it requires to function properly, for our body to function properly. So drinking relevant water in our life is one of the ways we can increase the zeal in our life, or we can support the increase of zeal in our life, and we can directly correlate that with increase of productivity in our life. Such a simple thing as drinking appropriate amount of water every day. Second example is doing physical exercise. Most of our life nowadays does not receive the essential extent of physical exercise that we require. Many years ago, like 50 or 100 or 200 years ago, people did not require a separate session of physical exercise, because walking to get greater distances or doing some physical activities every day as part of their life was normal. Whereas in today's scenario, most of us, we, even if we are traveling, we use some kind of a mobile transport, either a two-wheeler or a four-wheeler or some public transport, and we hardly use our physical physical body for any kind of movement or exercise. Even in our work, most of us are sitting down and working either in front of a computer or probably working on a production line. It's hardly any amount of physical activity. So what happens is our body is not receiving its essential physical movements and the strengthening that is required. So daily physical exercise helps our body to gain its energy and to have enough motivation and to basically boost the zeal that we have, or support the boosting of zeal, and thereby directly correlate with productivity. So we have identified close to 40 such simple productivity hacks which can help in increasing our zeal or support in the increase of our zeal, and thereby directly help in our productivity. There is one concept called drain that I'd like to explain in this particular video also. What is drain? Now, what happens is we know that drinking appropriate water is important. So let's say we started drinking appropriate, correct water, like 7 to 8 glasses of water. That's what the scientists say, that we're supposed to be drinking at least 7 to 8 glasses of water every day. Let's say we started that today. And we continued that for a span of 5 years or 10 years. And we really see that, yes, it is helping our body. Our metabolism is good. Our digestion is good. Our body is able to function normally. And what happens is, the moment we stop doing that, let's say after 10 years, you suddenly stop drinking appropriate water, you just stop drinking water, your body will start dysfunctioning, or it will get into problem within a span of 2 or 3 days. Now that's a drain. That is, within a span of 2 or 3 days of stopping drinking of water, you can lose all your zeal or all your productivity with that particular with the water drinking aspect, or the water drinking pro hack. Now, the same thing with physical exercise. Now, we know that physical exercise is important, and it can help us to eventually increase our productivity in life by boosting our zeal. We know that. But however, let's say we started today and we continued for the next 10 years. We are doing, we are let's say, devoting close to half an hour or 1 hour every day for physical exercise. And after 10 years, we decide to take a break. Now, stopping physical exercise would not put us into trouble within 2 or 3 days, just like it happened with respect to water. Whereas if we stop physical exercise, we may see a very slow deterioration in our bodily function. Probably it may take 6 months, 1 year, or 3 years sometimes to observe a reduction in our efficiency, or in our bodily functions, or in our energy levels. It takes some time. So this concept of reduction in how a productivity hack becomes effective in our life, we have called it as drain. Our zeal, whatever zeal we are increasing because we are observing certain productivity hacks or pro hacks, they start reducing the moment we stop them, and they reduce at the rate of the drain that it has. So drinking water has a very quick drain. So you stop drinking water, within few days you see that your body gets highly affected because of your wrong habits. Whereas you stop physical exercise, it may take a little longer, so the drain is little longer. So what we have done is, we have created a calculation of zeal by taking into account every single pro hack and the drain associated with every single pro hack. So there are 40 pro hacks that we have identified, and we are adding even more. So when it comes to increasing or doubling our productivity, if we can stay aligned with each of these pro hack every day and observe how our zeal is moving, and we can ensure that the zeal is always maintained at a higher level, then we can eventually, definitely, for sure, double our productivity. Stay tuned for more videos on how I can double my productivity. Thank you very much. Bye.